No gold is not in her. She's a diamond.
Welcome to another exciting edition of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Paperboy,
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
and today we're going to talk about, as they call it on e-commerce bites, mangled payments. That's right, eBay managed payments. There's a lot of things going on out there right now with it, pretty much forcing more or less everybody into it. Have you gotten an email yet?
I have, yes.
Were they trying to force you into it?
I didn't get invited to that one. I just got the email through you and another guy regarding what is supposedly going to happen in the near future. But
Now, the interesting thing about it is we sell as million.dollar.peddlers, and we have not gotten any sort of email on it, so we're still accepting PayPal and all that sort of thing. Now, we're not a store seller. We're just a casual seller on there currently. My wife has a spot on there as well, selling an occasional postcard. That has not been invited. However, I did get invited into it, and it's some heck of an invitation. Come join us, or we will suspend your selling privileges. So that's a nice little invitation that they give you. I've heard there are a few problems with this system. How about you?
yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
So basically, what's going on is various things like bullion, gold coins, cars, adult material, that sort of thing cannot currently be sold through it. Now, there are some dealers that specialize in those things, and then you've got somebody like me. I've got a couple of underground comic books. I've got a couple of other things, stock certificates, that sort of thing. Occasionally, I might come across some World War II currency, that sort of thing. So not very many items, 10, 15 items, something rather like that I would have on there. Now, if you read through, you are allowed to sell them per what it says. However, you basically can't get payment on them, and they can suspend you for selling them. So that's a heck of a way to go about business, heck of a way to run a railroad, as they say. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to kind of watch. Hopefully they do end them for me if they don't have a solution in place, because I'm not going to go through all of my items to try to find 20 items in order to end them all. End those 20, just not worth it. Just take the chance on them, I guess. And I was looking through your site. You got what, probably 20 items, something like that are affected as well?
I double counted. It was 125,842.
Oh. Well, I've only got so many fingers and toes, not a lot I can. A lot of people are concerned about it, and a lot of people have contacted eBay about it. Your boy Radio Parts, he contacted them, and they gave him one set of answers. He shared that with your boy Auction Professor, who got a different set of answers, and don't really know exactly what's going on. I wish somebody else would give them a call and let us know.
I did call after I got your email from Radio Parts. I was a little concerned what's going on because all the answers are all completely different. So I called up to get the truth, or at least from the lady's perspective from eBay, and she was very nice, cordial. She reassured me, don't worry, those are huge categories. They're not going to lose them. They're not going to end them. They're going to figure out something before the end of the year. And they said they might do something like with eBay Motors, because I don't think they can take PayPal if you're going to purchase a Ferrari or something like that. So eBay Motors has their own set of managed payments and processing, and they said there might be categories for eBay Adult, eBay Gold, eBay Coins, and so forth. So she said, don't worry, they'll let us know ahead of time, and they don't want to lose our business.
And I think they told you a little bit more than that as well. I love having you on the spot because you don't have any idea at all what I'm talking about right now.
I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did. I could ask my manager. She was on speakerphone with us, but she's not here at the moment.
I think they told you not only not to worry, but that they would put you off as far as they possibly could because of the volume of things that you
Absolutely.
had.
And she said that's why me and others have not gotten the invite as well. So they want to come up with some solution, or at least some answers before we get the invite for moving forward.
So that's actually potentially good news, and I also shared that with Auction Professor as well, just to let him know that as well, and Radio Parts also shared it with him. Another thing that a lot of people don't know about, because you do have a few adult items up, is there's been another issue going on in adult items since October, as a matter of fact. Would you like to tell anybody about that?
October, if it's what I'm thinking. If you're talking about the offers,
I am talking about the
That's been
offers.
going on over a year at this point.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, since last, I think, March. We've been calling them since last March of 2019. The offers are sporadically showing and not showing on some sellers. They're working and not working on some sellers. There's no rhyme or reason. And then sometimes when a seller can send the offer back, that shows 9 out of 10 times, but not all the time. So it's crazy. We've called numerous amounts of times. They said they can't get a fix on it, but I really don't believe that. I just think they don't care to fix it.
Well, that's not exactly all the time what they've told you. I believe they've told you a couple of times we're working on it.
Yeah, that is true. For eBay, it depends on who you're talking to. Some people want to help, some people don't want to help. But yeah, they always say they're working on it. You can't contact the IT department directly. They have to do it, and it's a long process, and it's back and forth. And I just basically gave up and told eBayers, just contact me through each item what you want, and we'll work out a private listing and so forth.
And I believe you also ran that by eBay, and they suggested you to do that as well, correct?
Yes, and I also asked them if it would be okay to add that in our condition lines, because then people can see it automatically. If there's an issue, contact us.
Or if they're on the phone, I believe the condition shows up on the phone first thing.
Yes.
So they can see that as well.
Yeah.
And one thing that I found really interesting was I was talking with you throughout the process, and the one thing that they never asked, which is amazing to me, is they never asked for you to contact the buyers when this issue was discovered. Because as I remember, there were at least a couple of times where they even denied that the issue existed.
Right. Yeah.
And again, I do not have an IT background, but common sense to me would be, how are the people having this problem? Are they on the phone? Are they on an Apple? Are they on Windows? If they're on Windows, are they using Chrome? Are they using Firefox? Because as you're well aware, because of a certain printing issue that you have, sometimes things work one way on one browser and don't work on another browser.
Absolutely.
So that would be something that I would think their IT would be interested in knowing. Would be, okay, a lot of people are having a problem, but everybody that has this problem is on a Windows using Chrome, for example. Okay, now we've pinpointed what the problem is. They don't even seem to be interested in figuring that out. Now, not that they don't have other things on their plate, especially trying to roll out the managed payments and all that, but it's something or other that if it's taken over a year, I probably could go to the DeVry Institute and get a diploma in programming and figure out how to fix it within that year.
Well, what's their biggest category?
Now you got me on the
I thought you would know that one.
Spot. Minor League Baseball cards from 1970 on.
Could it be clothing? I don't know. Let's say it's clothing, hypothetically. If clothing is their biggest category and they're having the same issue, I'm pretty sure they're going to fix it in a week.
I would hope so. Well, the scary thing is I'm not even sure about that. That's the scary thing about it.
But I don't think it's a major issue. You're talking about an offer tab. I'm sure they could, wipe it out and revamp it, and who knows? I'm not.
Wasn't there? And I'm going to put you on the spot again because I did not like being on the spot, so Church had to be on the spot. Wasn't there? You saw my deer in the headlights. Wasn't there another workaround as well? Something about you could open it up in a separate tab.
That actually works. I forgot. We actually, if you go to my listings,
I believe you have it listed
does show
there,
up in the comments. My manager would know that specifically. But yeah, I think if you right-click on the tab and then click on it or something, it opens up a new window where you can make the offer, but it still
works half the time.
Yeah,
or
it's
something
not
like
100%.
Yeah. Which is insane that there's all these workarounds. So it's obviously some kind of a problem somewhere in the script.
Right. Well, then this is the best one. That they told my sister's my manager, and they said have them just pay full price and then just refund them the difference.
Oh, that way you don't get a refund from PayPal and you don't get a refund on fees from eBay.
Yeah, they'll be making more money. Every 10, 20, 30 orders a day adds up for them. Good for them, but not for me.
Nice. So that's kind of the guidance that we've gotten at this point. If you are a large seller, they're holding out and rolling it out. If you're a small seller, we really don't have a lot of guidance. We can just hope that they end up getting it all fixed before somebody or other, ends up getting our listings ended or anything at all like that. If you're in the market for a couple of underground comic books and some stock certificates, check it on out. I'll be doing deep discounts on them sometime soon. One other quick thing, which I just thought of, and I kind of wanted to talk about this a little bit. When you're talking about being on the phone with eBay, how often do you or your manager end up calling eBay roughly?
Each week we call for one thing or another generally. Yeah.
Have you found things to be pretty easy when you give them a call?
It depends on what it is. So I lucked out. Usually when my sister calls, it's we don't get answers. Run around, then whoever you're talking, you can't talk to anyone else. Whoever's on the phone, that's it. Or you could email. So she gets a little frustrated, but for some reason I got lucky the other day with some answers. So that was good.
Just want to give you a little bit of my favorite time of the day is Uncle Papergoy's story time. Have you ever sold Cavalier magazines?
I have. I do.
Can you tell us really, really briefly a quick history of them? What kind of magazine is it? I don't even know if they're still being published, but in the 1980s and 90s, what kind of magazine would it be?
It's a men's magazine, but it's on the softer side, like Playboy would be,
In the 90s it was?
In the 90s, they did change. They got a little, I would say they changed.
Risque,
probably,
yeah, right.
I would probably say in the 80s. Yeah.
But if you go back to like the 1950s and 60s, it wasn't even Playboy style.
Yeah,
it was more saga, Argosy, men's adventure type.
Right.
Would be how you'd say it.
Sure.
There might be a topless girl in there. I don't even know if they did topless girls or not. But
very few, more bikini type.
Type girls, and and then I fought the man hunting tribe on such in Borneo. That kind of thing. That kind of true adventure type magazine would be what it was back then. So I had a few of those listed, and I got dinged with having something listed in an inappropriate category. And it was a 1950s Cavalier magazine. And I got dinged for having it listed not in adult. And that's absolutely ridiculous because, again, it's no different than Argosy, no different than Saga, any of those at that time. So luckily, because these things always happen in most opportune times, I was away on vacation with Mysterious Benefactor at the time as well. So here I am on my phone getting these here that this listing has been ended because it was misclassified or whatever it is they say. So I go into the bathroom in the hotel room to give them a call just because he's still sleeping or doing his work or on the phone or whatever it is. So I need some privacy. So I go into the bathroom and give them a call. I reach the gentleman and I kind of explain the whole situation to him. And you know what their answer was?
Probably not good.
You're right.
Oh.
It's not adult. However, it's pegged as adult by our computers. So when you relist it, do not relist it in regular eBay, relist it in adult. And I said, let me make sure I understand you. You are telling me to miscategorize it as adult, even though it's not adult, because if I don't call it adult, I'll get in trouble. And he said, yep, it's not adult, but you have to list it in adult. You know what I did?
Ended it and don't list it?
I put it on Amazon.
Oh, there you go. All right.
So that's just the kind of crazy things that go on from time to time with the computers and the artificial intelligence and all that sort of thing. Nobody can override it, and they'll tell you, yep, that's ridiculous. And you can't really get mad at the person you're talking with on the phone because, they're being paid, $10 an hour or whatever they're getting paid, and they have no authority whatsoever. And they probably just roll their eyes and tell their boss, look at how dumb this is, and it never works its way up the chain. Never works its way up the chain. But that's kind of just the sort of insanity that you can get when you do call eBay. So I think last time I called them was about 3 years ago.
Yeah, and don't call Amazon. You can't get through to anybody.
No.
You can only email them, so that's really discouraging.
So just wanted to bring you a little bit of update there on managed payments, and hopefully everything is going well with you, and make sure you stay safe.